Alright, welcome back YouTube. Everybody watching, following these videos. I got a late start today. Wasn't overly warm. It didn't actually start warming up till like 2 or 3. I think it's supposed to be a little bit sunnier and nicer tomorrow. But I did get out here, kind of mess with things a little bit. And I'll show you what I got going on here. So this is actually the engine out of the 1862. Again, it's to plow snow a couple times this winter. Actually, it's the engine that I used to mow the yard with for most of the summer. It looks crusty and nasty. I mean, everything's corroded and like the paint's all gone, but it ran. I have no idea how long it had been since it had been ran. I brought it home. I swapped carbs on it because the carb that was on it was just completely, it was nasty. And I know I've mentioned this in another video, but it was bad. Swapped that carb onto it and it took off, sit there and ran. Didn't smoke, didn't knock. So yeah. As you all know, I pulled this out of the 62, which is now, I'm calling the 2062. Cub always used the first designation of their serial or their model numbers. So 18 would be 18 horsepower. And so since that one is swapped to a 20, I'm still calling it 2062. Again, not completely accurate, but I'm using it. But my main thing, when I pulled it, remove all this. I'm getting ready to put the flywheel and everything back on it. But when I pulled the flywheel off, every single one of these magnets was stuck to the stator. Now the funny thing is, it's still charged. So, you know, it's still working. There was one that was still left. I forget which one it is. Probably, I think it was that one. I think it was the only one that was still attached. This is the one I'm worried about. This one's actually broken half. I don't have another one. I couldn't get another one off of any of the other flywheels I have. So, again, it was charging. Probably was messing stuff up because this will not come off. I actually broke that bolt, just taking the bolts out. Like I said, this engine was just, it was nasty. I don't know where. I think it'd been sitting outside for a while. Like I said, everything's all just corroded. It wasn't really leaking oil. I think it was leaking, I don't know if it's leaking here or if it's out of here. I do know the valve cover was leaking. I did something that I'm probably going to regret doing. But that actual valve cover really wasn't that tight. The gaskets are still good. So I put a little bit of black RTV on the gaskets and just put it back on. Hopefully it'll work. But yeah, so hopefully that magnet hangs in there. Like I said, it was still charging the way it was. So, but I'm going to throw the flywheel back on it. I've got this magneto here that, again, I bought. I don't know if it's good or not. When I had it on the Mag 20, like I said, it wasn't firing, wasn't sputtering, wasn't doing anything. So I thought, okay, well, I'll check spark, and I didn't see any. I thought, okay, well, this mag, again, was used, bought it off of eBay. It's bad. Swapped, that's, again, why this thing's in pieces. Swapped the one that was on here, on there, took the carb that was on there, put it on there. And now here comes the dilemma. When I put the mag that was on this one, on the Mag 20, it wasn't sparking either. Now, I don't know if maybe I just didn't see it, or maybe I was just jumping the gun. Maybe that one actually is still good. But come to find out, it was a carb that was giving me problems because I had to manually choke it with my hand. And I mean, choke it for a good while before it even would pop off. The other carb, again, that was on it was just... The bolt that holds the bowl on is leaking, and I'm hoping that was just the issue. Because it was the issue when I had it on that engine. Now I got a rebuild kit for it. It comes with all new gaskets. I'm gonna try it. If it doesn't work, I've got a Carter, I think it's a 26 or 30 that I can put on it. Or try to find another one. I don't know. But I pulled the manifold off of this just to kind of clean all this up, because this is pretty nasty, and it was kind of, it's still kind of nasty on this side, but for the most part, I got it off. I'm gonna check all these head bolts. Like I said, the head gasket was leaking. This thing wasn't leaking oil, it wasn't burning oil. The oil filter lines were leaking though. I gotta figure out something for those. But that was it. Is this not? So, no, this isn't the end. Sorry, I for some reason was thinking the PTO crank seal on this one was weird or different, but it's not. I don't know what I was thinking. So yeah, I got new gaskets. I'm gonna put the manifold back on it. Probably hook just the battery jumper cables up to it, see if I can get spark out of it, and then see if that mag is actually any good. And then that way, all I got to do is figure out the carburetor. I got to clean the flywheel shroud because it's all kinds of nasty, which is weird because, like I said, it wasn't leaking oil. It was leaking a little, but not that much. So, but I'm just gonna hit that with a brush before. I'm not even gonna try to douse it in anything because it's just gonna make a mess. So yeah, just mowed with the 1811. I haven't even bothered getting the 62 out. Fixed the one oil leak. I think it was just residual from where I was messing with it. It is, however, leaking oil out of this hole, out of this valve cover, because I noticed that it was sitting there running. It's got a wet spot around it, so I have to address that, I guess. Yeah, throw this thing back together real quick. I did have to clean these bolts up because they're pretty nasty. I don't know if you can see kind of the intake, a little corroded and nasty. Like I said, this engine I think had sat outside for a while. The other thing I need to address, yeah, it'll focus, but you can kind of see it. Both sides are like that. But like I said, I don't want to pull this thing apart. I don't want to pull the heads off of it because it ran too good. So I think what I'm going to do is, if I do put it back in something, which it might go in the 1811, to be honest, because that one is just, it's leaking oil everywhere. It's tired anyways. It smokes. And then I'll fix all the oil leaks in it and just kind of set that motor aside as a spare. It runs. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. It's a little noisy. It's got a little bit of clatter to it, but it runs. It's also got oil pressure. It hasn't locked up or blown up yet. So, but like I said, it is tired. It does smoke when you first start it. Like I said, it kind of just leaks oil everywhere, so it needs pulled out and fixed anyway. So, but anyway, if I swap this into it, I think I'm just going to run a bunch of probably Berrymans through it, and hopefully it'll clean those valves up and everything else that's in it. So that's it for now. Like I said, I'm gonna throw the flywheel on it, see if I can get this thing to spark. If it does, cool. But probably be out tomorrow working on stuff again. Just to try to tidy up some loose ends, odds and ends here I'm still trying to work on. But yeah, thanks for watching. Watch the other videos. Follow. Let's see, this build's on here, the 1811 on here, the 1862 when I put it back together-ish is on there, the 2062 is on there, obviously. I got some snow plowing stuff up there. Do have to work on that rear end. I got to pull the one axle and fix it. I do have the seals on the way, so whenever they get here. Yeah, thanks for watching. Watch the other videos. Thank you.